I got a good one for you tonight. It's Spiritual Freedom Night in the Sanctuary, and we're going to do a 30-minute meditation to clean out our spiritual freedom. And then if we have time, there's a space that I'd like us to use that cleaned out spiritual freedom to clean out another space. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And I just wanted to start by saying that I didn't grow up with any religious training. I never got dragged to church ever. So I was able to grow up and watch my friends and see what the impact of religious programming was doing to them. So tonight we are going to be looking at our own spiritual freedom and see if there's any religious programming. And we're going to be cleaning that out. And it's individual for each of you. You'll have to look at it for yourself, but I'll give you a chance to take a look at your information on spiritual freedom, and we're going to do a nice clean out. So let's go ahead, and I'll set the energy for the meditation with a prayer. As we cleanse and heal the temple of the soul, may it be with the blessing of divinity that it shine its countenance upon us and bring us peace in body, mind, and spirit. Amen. Okay, we're going to start by closing your eyes. Make sure that you're seated comfortably in a chair and place your feet on the ground, hips distance apart. And after you've closed your eyes, you're going to bring all of your awareness to a point in the center of your head that is right behind your eyes. What that does is it helps you start to get back into your body. And we're going to be doing the meditation from this point in the center of your head. So still remaining in the center of your head, go ahead and find the base of your spine. And we're going to create a grounding cord that attaches to the base of your spine. Draw a line of energy from the base of your spine all the way down to the center of the planet. And this is going to ground you to the planet, but you've got to anchor it in at the center of the planet, however you want to devise that anchoring, whether you tie it around a rock or drill it in. Make sure that that grounding cord is attached firmly at the center of the planet and also at the base of your grounding, at the base of your spine. I like to open my grounding cord up like a tube so that I can visually see energy releasing. But you could also put a waterfall on it or put some intuitive oil on it and whatever makes it slippery so that you can just release energy and it will travel down your grounding cord and get absorbed into the center of the planet. Let's go ahead and test out this grounding cord. Let's go ahead and start to let go of the energy of responsibility that you may have. Go ahead and release that. And problems. If you came home with any problems today, let's go ahead and release that. Problems is an energy vibration like anything else and can be released. And then go ahead and let go of any tasks or projects, chores, things that are on your mind that you want to do after the meditation. Go ahead and send them down the grounding cord so that you can have a free mind for the next half hour. Good. We're going to put a female grounding cord on now too. Now, this I do recommend using the image of a tube because you're going to put it right underneath your uterus. So a great big tube would work really well underneath your uterus. And then the bottom of that grounding cord drops into the grounding cord you have at the base of your spine. Go ahead and create that grounding cord, that female grounding cord right now. And we're going to ground each of our ovaries into that female grounding. So just draw a simple line of energy from your left ovary, draw that line right into that female grounding, and draw a line of energy from your right ovary into your female grounding. And let those ovaries start grounding. And around on the other side of your uterus are the tops of your sciatic nerves. They come up by your butt cheek dimples. So go ahead and draw a line of energy from your left sciatic nerve into your female grounding. And draw a line of energy from your right sciatic nerve into your female grounding. And let any energy that's been stored up in your female space start to release. And we want to release problems from the female energy too. So go ahead and say hello to problems again. And let that go down the grounding cord. And then we're going to ground our female creative energy. Out in front of your abdomen, you can create another tube. And this is going to ground your female creative energy. It gets generated out in front of your abdomen. So create a grounding cord in front of your abdomen and ground it all the way to the center of the planet, and postulate that you are grounding your creative energy. Good, very good. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. And we'll be taking a look at your picture of spiritual freedom. I'll tell you mine, but it is my picture, and yours is going to be different. But just to set the energy, to me, spiritual freedom has a lot to do with the freedom to express yourself, the freedom to worship, the freedom to love who you want to, and to also be able to have the freedom to have your autonomy. And you're going to get to see all the things that are important to you about your spiritual freedom as we do this meditation. So let's go ahead and start by creating a bubble out in front of you on your screen. Imagine you have a great big white movie screen in front of you. We're going to do some visualization. And as you create this bubble, postulate that the bubble represents the energy of your spiritual freedom. And we're going to put a grounding cord underneath this bubble so that as you look at it, you can start to release energies from it that don't look like they belong there. So let's just start with heavier, darker colors. If you find any blacks or browns, those really don't vibrate at spiritual freedom, and you can go ahead and release those. I'm going to call out a couple of energy vibrations that I was looking at that we want to make sure we're clearing. So as I call them out, you're going to look in your bubble to see if any colors light up, or if you just get a sense that the energy I'm talking about is in the bubble, and send it down the grounding cord. Okay, so the first energy to look for in your spiritual freedom bubble is family control energy. I'll give you an example of maybe a family control energy. If the family is all, let's say, one religion, and let's say the parents are determined to have the child enter the same religion, whether or not the child is really interested in it or not. Good. I'm watching a lot of gray energy come out. And the next energies we're going to look we're going to look at spiritual competition and how that affects your spiritual freedom. And I'm going to give you some examples. I was thinking of the Crusades, where it was pretty much my religion is better than yours. Anti-Semitism, witch hunts, Muslim bans. Those were all examples that I could think of spiritual competition. So if you find any spiritual competition in your bubble, go ahead and ground it and move it out. Don't be afraid to look for past life energy. Next, we're going to start looking for what I'm going to call programming. And you can look at what kind of programming has wound up in your spiritual freedom bubble. But an example of that would be a religious group telling you that you need to go through an intermediary party to talk to God or Supreme Being or Creator, whatever you want to call Supreme Being, but that you need to go through like a priest or a rabbi in order to communicate with Supreme Being, instead of being able to have a one-to-one relationship with Supreme Being. Or programming like religious programming that dictates your sexuality or your belief system. These are the kinds of programs I would be looking for, and you can just find them as colors in the bubble. And whatever programs you find that you don't like, you can go ahead and send down the grounding cord. And I want to just note that there's a lot of unconscious energy coming out because we are starting to clear programming. So be aware that you're releasing unconscious energy. And a lot of it I see as white. And you can ground that the same way you can ground any other energy. Just send that down the grounding cord. And then also look for any programming from clubs or group associations that you belong to that would affect your spiritual freedom. Sometimes you might find an energy in there and the energy was not intentionally put in your space. It just wound up there. So just say hello to it and release it. And then go ahead and look to see if any teachers, professors, or educational institutions have done anything to affect your spiritual freedom or try to take it away. And then next, government energy. Has the government gotten into your spiritual freedom at all? And the last energy to look for is money. And I don't know if that's going to have, if you're going to find it, but look to see if money has had an effect on your spiritual freedom. Good job. Take a step back from the bubble and kind of take a look at the cleaned out bubble. And go ahead and ask the bubble, what makes up your spiritual freedom? Because the bubble that you're looking at is your spiritual freedom information. So look for the highest and brightest color and ask it, what makes up your spiritual freedom? When have you had your spiritual freedom this lifetime? And when has your spiritual freedom been denied to you this lifetime? And who denied it? Looking at this from the center of your head and your point of neutrality, can you find forgiveness for this person who denied you your spiritual freedom? If you can, send them a gold forgiveness rose. Let them know it's from you. And if you're having trouble forgiving them, then ask Supreme Being for forgiveness healing. And do you feel that you've had to fight for your spiritual freedom at all this lifetime? If you do, round up all the conflict in the bubble and send it down the grounding cord. Great. All right. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to have you look for the highest and brightest color in that bubble. This is going to be your true information on spiritual freedom. And we're going to move that bubble off to the right and create a brand new bubble in front of you and postulate that this bubble represents your decision-making process. So how you make decisions. Let all that energy go into that bubble and put a grounding cord on it. Ground it to the center of the planet. And we're going to clean out your decision-making bubble with some of your highest spiritual freedom energy. So find that highest and brightest color in your freedom bubble and arc it over into the bubble that represents your decision-making. And let it kind of flow through that whole bubble. Remember, you have a grounding cord on it, so that energy can go into the bubble, fill it up, and fill up the grounding cord. I see a lot of competition coming out. You're doing a wonderful job. I'm also getting to watch a lot of people coming out of your space as you clean out your decision-making process. All the people that want to get in on your decision-making and try to get you to make a decision that benefits them. Good job. All right. Go ahead and fill that decision-making bubble in with a gold sun. And we want to get rid of that bubble because we're done working on it. So blow it up. You can put a stick of dynamite under it, light the fuse, and watch the whole thing blow up. And then we're going to create one more bubble and postulate that this bubble represents your relationships. And we're going to clean this space out so that you can have your spiritual freedom in your relationships too. Go ahead and ground the bubble, the new bubble for your relationships, and start to arc over some of that highest and brightest color of your spiritual freedom and start cleaning out the bubble for your relationships. You'll probably notice a lot of control energy coming out. Just say hello to it and keep it grounded. Let it go down the grounding cord. This is another space with a lot of people coming out. All right. Go ahead and bring a gold sun into the bubble for your relationships. Fill it in and then blow it up. You can move your freedom bubble right back into the center of your screen. Say hello to that highest and brightest color again, and arc some of that highest and brightest color into your crown chakra and start moving that energy around your crown chakra in a clockwise motion. Just like you had a flat frisbee up on top of your head, you're going to move that color in the outer ring of the upside down frisbee. And you can let that spiritual freedom vibration go down your back channels to start cleaning out your other chakras. Notice how good that feels to run spiritual freedom. Okay, let's go ahead and start to collect up our energy. So we're going to blow up the bubble that you're using for your spiritual freedom, let's fill it in with a gold sun first, and then blow it up. And then create a gold sun and start calling your energy back. Call it back from the day, from the week, wherever you've left it. When that sun gets big and warm, go ahead and pull that gold sun right in through the top of your head. Let it fill up every cell of your body. Let it fill up your aura, your grounding cord. And when you're all filled up, go ahead and open your eyes and you can come on out of trance. Very nice. Very nice. I love the energy of just watching you run spiritual freedom. It's so calming. It just calmed everybody's body down. All right. Next week, we have a body beautiful, and that's going to be on hormones and your glandular system. So that will be much more of a cellular healing. And then after that, the following week, we have a healing in the sanctuary called Body of Glass. This is an energy tool that hardly ever gets taught anymore. I love it, and I'll teach it. And I'm going to teach it to you that night and then go ahead and do a healing on it so that you guys can use the tool of Body of Glass. So that's coming up Monday night on the 12th. So that's actually 2 weeks from now. And then this month for the Women's Intuition class, we're doing a miracles class. I do it every December. We take a look at our miracle energy and we clean it out. Then we use it to clean out all kinds of great spaces. So it's a wonderful way to set the energy for 2023 coming up faster than you know. All right, so those are my announcements tonight. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. I've got my eyes on you. And I look forward to seeing you next week in Body Beautiful. Okay, good night.